Hey everyone, welcome to our webinar about HIPAA compliance and the Atlassian apps, Jira Cloud, Confluence, JSM. Today we're going to talk about how to make your instance HIPAA compliant. What does it mean to be HIPAA compliant? How does that work with the Atlassian apps? I'm Whitney. I'm the Senior Atlassian Architect and Solutions individual for Grid. I've been working as an admin in the Atlassian ecosystem for about 15 years now, and I've seen it in many different stages. Today we're going to focus specifically on cloud and what it means to be HIPAA compliant and how do we get there. So first and foremost, let's talk about this. You bought an enterprise SaaS tool, so the assumption is our data is automatically compliant. That's not the case. Jira, Confluence, JSM, they were all built for a specific need. Jira for agile development, JSM for support tool, Confluence for documentation. They weren't built specifically to store electronic health records. Out of the box, Jira, Confluence, JSM are not HIPAA compliant. Out of the box, none of Atlassian's tool stack is HIPAA compliant. But the good news is you can absolutely store protected healthcare information, or PHI, safely in Jira Cloud. But it does require very intentional architectural strategy, assigned BAA with Atlassian, and an understanding of what is required of you. So your legal requirements for HIPAA compliance. Let's talk about what this means. The goal of HIPAA compliance is to protect individuals' medical records and other individually identifiable health information. You are required to have a signed BAA with every client handling electronic or non-electronic PHI data. You're required to have a BAA signed with every client before putting your data into before putting PHI data into your app. Encryption is required. Role-based access controls are required. Think Atlassian Guard. You need to have audit logs for the past 6 years to track access and exports of data. You also need to have protocols in place for breaches. This is automatic notifications and an incident response plan. Now, the actual HIPAA Compliance Act specifies when you need to report, who you report it to, dependent on how many individuals are affected. So let's talk about our business agreement with Atlassian. What does it mean? So we're going to talk about specifically what Atlassian covers versus what you cover. So the Atlassian BAA covers only a certain subset of their core products. So Jira Software, Jira Service Management, Confluence, Product Discovery, and some pieces of the Rovo AI. They also only cover licensing on the BAA will only cover those who have a standard, premium, or enterprise license. A BAA is not available for free plans or trials. On top of signing a BAA, you also need to go through Atlassian's HIPAA implementation guide, as well as tagging your apps, basically turning on the HIPAA compliance tagging for all of this to be, the BAA to be enforceable. Now, something to note is you need to monitor in the BAA if there's an expiration date. There's a line to specify when it expires. Make sure you know what that date ends up being. If it's a 10-year agreement, if it's a 5-year, so that you can put a reminder to check in. Now, Atlassian will possibly, if they make any changes to the BAA, they let you know. They may let you know that it's about to expire, but ultimately that's your responsibility. So make note of that. Now, something very important about Atlassian's BAA is it does not in any fashion include marketplace apps or your setup. The setup is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to make sure that you set up your instance. Atlassian's agreeing that the instance is able and has been developed so that you can put the PHI data in it. Their end of the bargain is saying the tool is capable. Here's guidance on how to do it, but it's your responsibility to make sure you actually put it in place. So it's a shared responsibility between you and Atlassian. The way to activate HIPAA compliance or the BAA, you can do this through your org administration. So not your app admin menu, but the admin administration for your whole entire organization. You'll go there, you'll go to security, data protection, and then kick off the HIPAA compliance. So just to reiterate, signing a piece of paper does not make your organization compliant. Atlassian agrees to secure the infrastructure. Once you sign that BAA, that there's encryption at rest, that there's physical servers, that where the data is being stored is on a physical server. You are responsible for who has access, how they use it, and what they type into the ticket fields. I mentioned that implementation guide. Atlassian does require you to configure the instance according to that implementation guide before you upload data. So let's talk about the different approaches that you can take in setting up your environment. First and foremost, you've got the whole environment, meaning treating every single Jira space, issue, every Confluence space, all the data, custom field, as if it contains PHI. It's incredibly secure, has a much lower risk, but has high friction. It should enforce global session timeouts. If you have IP allow listing, strict sharing controls, it reduces the legal risk of an accidental data leak, but it forces non-clinical teams to work under like a heavy compliance friction. So there's a pro for it, but then the con is teams that are not dealing with PHI data are now going to be restricted and enforced as if they did. This is best doing a whole environment approach, best for organizations where I'd say about 80% or more of the daily work involves patient data. Then you have the blended environment. The blended environment approach, this is where your expertise or the expertise of somebody else is very, very important. The blended environment is where you have a single Jira instance or a single Confluence instance or both, where only specific projects, say patient support portal, handle PHI, while others, like maybe the internal IT help desk or software bug tracking, operate normally. Atlassian allows you to tag specific apps and spaces that contain PHI so that they are treated in accordance with HIPAA regulations, but it's up to you to meticulously restrict and have airtight permission schemes, integration approvals. You have to disable certain native AI tools, Rovo, from being able to parse that tagged PHI data. You need to rely heavily on data loss prevention protocols to make sure PHI does not bleed from a tagged product to an unsecure, like basically the tool that has the space that has the PHI data to a space that's not running. So we need to make sure there's no crossover in that. So that's the blended environment. High risk, lower friction. And then there's multiple environments. This is where you have your whole environment. PHI work sits in a completely separate instance, and that is treated as a whole environment approach. The rest sit on a non-HIPAA compliant instance. If you're on enterprise, you can easily implement this without any additional overhead. However, if you're on standard or premium, this does lead into the potential for duplicate or higher licensing costs because Maybe an individual works in both instances, so you have to pay a license fee for both instances. Duplicate licensing for third-party apps if they're approved to be in both. Things of that sort, so it will come with a higher bill. Those are your options. One has low risk, high friction, high risk, low friction, and then a higher bill. Let's talk really about where Jira, Confluence, the native Atlassian stack needs help. This is the part where the expertise comes in. User provisioning and access controls. You need to make sure you're only granting, like your groups are set up and your license access. Atlassian Guard is set up to only grant access to those who are cleared to have access to the HIPAA compliant, to have access to PHI. Making sure your auditing log and retention policies align with HIPAA compliance requirements. You have a mandatory 6-year retention policy for audit trail inspections, who accessed data, when data was exported, things of that sort. You're responsible for making sure your notifications for all of the apps involved are properly aligned. Some of this is outlined in that implementation guide, but things like you got to turn off your push notifications within Confluence. Email notifications for Confluence and Jira are already set up as long as you've properly tagged your apps to be HIPAA compliant apps, which is part of the requirement, then your email notifications will be HIPAA compliant. But in Jira, you've got to restrict if you set up an automation rule that sends out a notification via email, things of that sort that will bypass defaulted system email notifications. Restrict who can create the automation rules to make sure that they're staying compliant. JSM, you need to enable the safe customer notifications and the HIPAA compliant alerts. In Rovo, you should disable web search because there's a potential for PHI data to be leaked. Rovo, you can only use certain components of it. I talked about those in an earlier slide, but you can't use everything that Rovo has to offer. Your in-app search, yes. Your agents, yes. Your chat, yes. The MCP server, no. Command line, no. Those are things that you cannot use with Rovo in a HIPAA compliant instance. Any of the products that Atlassian offers that I haven't listed, Jira, Confluence, JSM, Product Discovery, and Rovo, are the only ones that fall under the BAA for HIPAA compliance. Anything outside of that are not covered in the BAA for HIPAA compliance. Let's talk about our third-party apps, okay? So this is where it gets really challenging. Not only you've signed your BAA, you've tagged your apps for HIPAA compliance, you've gone through the implementation guide, you think you're good on the configuration, but now if you have a couple of apps that you need to use, you need to vet those. You need to have a BAA for every app that you're using on the HIPAA compliant instance. Things to note: scope, like when you're thinking of a HIPAA compliant app or you're looking at apps to determine can we use it or not, some things that you need to look at. What are the scopes for it? If it has read access to anything, it does have access to PHI data. If it has any integration pushes that push Jira payloads to external third-party servers outside of your perimeter. Are there outbound webhooks? Do they support data residency? What does data residency mean? That means you're able to specify my data can only be hosted in this area, in this boundary. Do they support that? Are they able to confirm, verify, and provide, if you have those stipulations, that they will only be storing your data in that area? Also check vendor badges in the marketplace. All of this information should be able to be found easily in the marketplace listing, but also look for vendor badges. Do they specify that they're SOC 2 compliant? Do they specify that they have HIPAA compliance within their app breakdown? Do they have the ISO compliance certification? Look for those things. Those are good key indicators that they would be safe for your HIPAA compliant instance. So creating your Atlassian instance to being HIPAA compliant, there's a lot of ways to mess it up. Not necessarily maliciously, but there are a lot of things that you need to cover. And when it comes to being compliant with legal regulations, it's important that you do it right. The compliance is not just a switch. It's not just signing that BAA. It's not just having that in place. It is building your architecture so that it is compliant. It is making sure your auditing trails are in place. It's making sure your user access, role-based user access is in place. It's making sure that you are sharing the responsibility, that your admins, that you're putting in everything that needs to be in place to say, this is our HIPAA compliant instance. It might feel a bit overwhelming. You might feel that you're a little bit over your head. That's where we come in. If you're needing to migrate healthcare data, whether you're on Jira now, or it's something in the future, or it's a task that you have to do ASAP, or maybe you're not migrating anything, you just need to get the instance set up and configured so you can put the data in it. Scan that QR code on the screen and book a call with us. We'll talk you through it. We'll kind of work out what needs to be done. Now, I wanted to just answer a question that had come up. And it's a good question because it is, can't we just hide the custom fields that have PHI and then we don't have to worry about it? Like, they can't see it, they don't have access to it because the field's hidden. Field configurations hide data from just the screen, but not from the database, not from your API. So if the user has project access or space access, they're still able to query those fields that contain PHI data via the JQL. And so you need to use things like issue security, where it's going to lock that out. So you can't just hide the custom fields. You actually need to implement further controls like issue security to make sure they have to validate that they have access to it. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this webinar. If you have any questions, again, please scan that QR code, or there might be a link in the description that you can click on to book a call with us, and we hope to hear from you so we can help you out. Thank you.